This is our special edition of Rags to Resale. Our series, Posh Famous, takes a look at the cream of the crop, those that rise to the top with the most viewers in their shows. And we ask how? How and why are these people so posh famous?
Welcome to Rags to Resale, the podcast for resellers who want to amp up their resale business the right way. And now, your host, the all-knowing, the all-seeing, the all-selling, the woman who is always right about everything, at least in our household, my wife, Megan Morris.
Oh, Tim. It's smart. It's smart to give me props like that. It's smart, man.
I'm pretty sure that it goes beyond the shows and all of that. Happy
He's
wife,
very
happy
popular. He's got quite a following of the ladies. I tell you what,
amazing.
he's in his happiest place right now with the posh shows. Wendisha, you have been consistently one of our Posh Famous. This is the Posh Famous series, and I had to get to you. I had to have Wendisha on because what the heck, girl? You have got gigantic shows. You have a huge following. What is it about your shows that is just they're just coming and coming and they can't get enough of you? What is it?
No idea.
You have no idea?
No idea. I just feel like I usually compare my current shows to my first show. They're like so different. In my first show, I prepared for a week. I had little notes in every single hanger. So I would say like things particular to the brand and like to the item that I was showing. And one day I was like, listen, this is not sustainable. I just need to be myself. And I think that people like that. People
Yep.
like to be able to see themselves in the person that is hosting. And I'm just myself and they seem to like it, I guess.
And I've been in your shows a lot. I've shopped from you, and I do believe that I study their algorithm, that it's my background where I've been in marketing for years and I've applied it to Poshmark, and I think that's a lot of my success, but they love you. They love you. They love your energy, I think, is intensely key. Your energy is high the whole time. You go for hours. You care about them. You've learned their names. You love them. You've got little catchphrases, listen,
Yeah.
Ninja, all that stuff
Listen,
makes for a fun, exciting place to be. And they have to sit there for a long, long time because your shows are primarily share shows. Are they all share shows?
yes, all of them.
All
of
share
them.
shows. So
Mhm.
you are sharing other people's stuff and you're helping them sell. So they are beholden to you to get their stuff on, and you consistently are fair, you get their stuff sold, and you bring an audience which is valuable not just to you but to them, because the more people in there, the more likely it is their items are selling, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I feel like I know that aside from my first show where I was trying to get the hang of things, every other show has been a share show, and I'm just trying to do what I wanted people to do for me when I didn't have access. I was one of those viewers that sat for hours waiting for my item to be ran to get that sale of the week. So I get it, and like I mentioned before, I try to create this genuine connections with my viewers. I have my regulars, I know their names, they buy from me all the time, I buy from them as well. So it goes beyond a buyer and a seller for me. We have this genuine connections, and they bring people over to the show, and I think that helps. And of course, a share show is always gonna bring new people and the regulars, but I'm just trying to do my part in helping them get that sale, because I know that even people that have live access don't feel comfortable doing this. So I want to make sure that they're getting taken care of. So that's all I'm trying to do.
That's great. No, yeah, your shows are vibrant. They're just really fun. And you're just you, I can tell. And I think that they can smell a fake a mile away. And and then there's just little things like lighting and, consistency and speed and accuracy and all the stuff that you've got down. I want to know so how and I know people ask me this all the time when I do share shows, and we are pulling away from share shows a little bit just because of time.
Mhm.
But how do you make money?
So it's interesting that you asked me that because I had been in the situation where I could have done a show for an hour, run my stuff, and be done with it. And then I found myself being on for like 4 hours, giving people those 3 extra hours
Yeah,
just to share their items. And you know that financially speaking, we don't get nothing for the sales that are made between a viewer and a buyer.
yeah,
So I one day I was reflecting on everything that I've been doing, and I'm like, this is not making sense. I was on for 4 hours and I made, I don't know, $200. That it doesn't make sense. So it was right there when I said, and I started this movement called Make Poshmark Make Sense, where I would pick a host and as my host of honor for the night, and I would run 8 of their items and stuff like that, just to give back to them and make it make sense to them. So what I've been doing lately is that if you're gonna be on my show, the tray's open, share an item with me, but you're gonna see my stuff first. And that's what I've been doing. I've been running my items first. I nudge people to bundle because if you're paying me $20 for an item, you're paying half for shipping. Makes sense to get that extra item.
yeah,
And also, another thing that I've been doing is focus on new inventory all the time. Like, I rarely have the same item for a month. If I don't see it go for a month, I'm very big on giving you a steal and a deal so you can get it out of my house. So I'm always brainstorming and researching on new inventory, getting the new inventory and putting it out there. And that is how I'm making sales. New inventory, sharing my items, focusing on myself as well.
yeah.
Because if your host is not happy and it's not making sense to them, then the rest of the audience is gonna
Right.
notice and they're gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah, good. Well, so let's talk a little bit about Wendy's show. Where are you? Where is your little world that you are broadcasting from? And what brought you to Posh? And is it your full-time gig? Just a little quick overview of you.
Sure. Okay, so Wendisha, my name is Wendy. I am Dominican. That's my home country, Dominican Republic, and I am based in New York, Long Island. I've been doing Poshmark. So on the app, it says that I've been on since 2021, and I know that's not true because I have vivid memories of me shopping on Poshmark during the first year of the pandemic. So it was like 2019 or something like that.
Yeah.
This is not my full-time job. I am a software engineer, and that's what I do full-time. But
Cool.
lately, but all the live shows, I feel like I have 2 full-time jobs,
Yeah.
Poshmark and my job as a software engineer. And when it comes to reselling, I feel like I've been reselling since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I got active on Poshmark after the pandemic hit. And I got live active sometime in November, so about 7 months ago, and the rest is history. I've been a host ever since and loving it.
That's great. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, mine blew up around during the pandemic too. I've been on since 2017, selling pretty consistently just as a closet. And I'm trying to get back to the closet a little bit. We did try a coupon show for a
Mhm.
while that was working really well. We were trying to drive the algorithm back into closets by forcing people to look at the closets,
Right, right.
just because since Posh shows, my most of what I make is from the shows.
Exactly.
I don't even hardly list anything. So I've been
Mhm.
trying to get back to consistently listing some of the higher end stuff and getting some stuff back into the closets. But really, the algorithm is entirely embedded with the Posh shows currently, and who knows when. Sorry, there's like a furry floating around. Um, it just depends if they will ever allow it to get back to the closets. Right now, it doesn't seem to be, it's a fuzzy. It doesn't seem to be that they're bothering with the closet because they're just making so much money off the shows. I mean,
Oh,
think
yeah.
about the money you were bringing in on a day. You'd be thrilled to get $100 sale.
Mhm.
Uh, I mean, we made $2,700 last week on 2 shows. I mean, there's no comparison. There's no
Yeah.
comparison to Posh shows. You're going to make money, and I think people get frustrated and stop because they have a bad first show or a bad first couple shows when in truth be told, you've got to feel it. You've got to find your niche.
Oh,
You've got to
yeah.
find your day. You've got to find your hour of that day.
Yeah,
You've got to find your audience. I mean,
for
there's
sure.
so many inconsistencies that you have to align to make it happen that, as much as there's new people coming in every day, they flatline, and then there's going to be the cream of the crop
Yeah.
staying and trying. And even then there's the ones that have hundreds of viewers, and there's ones that have 2 and 3 viewers, so it just varies so incredibly. It's crazy. uh
Yeah.
so you're always share shows. So let's talk about the evolution of share shows. I remember I was in the beta test group. I spoke at Posh Fest, and then I came right into doing it right away. So we were doing share shows where I was Venmoing people
Wow.
afterwards because there was no way for the sale to land in their closet. But I wanted to share.
Wow.
So I was sharing people's things, and then I was Venmoing them. So then quickly they caught on to the share show phenomenon, and they were allowing people to share in, but we were doing that bundle nightmare, and it's only become recent that we have the ad button, which is so nice. Tell me about your evolution of that.
Okay, so when I did my first show, I think that the feature of selling for others was not out, or it was recently out. And this is something, because I'm a Passion Coffee host as well. This is something that I tell my attendees. On the first show, try to focus on yours, even though you can do a share show. It's just a matter of getting the hang of it, and adding on to that pressure of getting that first show going the way that you want it to go. Adding the pressure of sharing for others is just gonna be hectic.
Yeah.
So my first show was all about me. Till this day, I feel like it was one of my most successful shows because I had like 40 items listed and I sold like 25. And for a first show, I think that's great.
That's great.
But then I was like, I want to give back. The feature is out. Let me try. And the bundling situation, you said it yourself, it was a nightmare.
Well, they
It was
would
a
move and
nightmare.
change. They'd
And
move
then you had
around.
to deal with like reaching out to the buyers to make sure that they bought the bundle, and it was just bad. So after that got fixed, it was a lot easier. But there's always gonna be that thing that you feel like needs to be fixed. Right now, the sell together feature is amazing, but then it comes with its cons. When it first came out, they could share up to 5 items. The queue only holds 500, so you can only imagine that when you leave the tray open, a whole bunch of people are going to share. They're not even there to get their items ran. So there's still going to be improvements. Improvements that could be made to the app and to the feature itself and to your show as a host. But I feel like, and I say this humbly, I have consistently tried to like better how I run items and how I run the share shows, not only for my own sanity, but for people as well. I don't expect people to be there for the 5 hours that I go live. I know it's a lot of time. I've been there myself. But I do ask that people be there when I'm doing the roll call. I'm not gonna add you to a tray if you're not. It doesn't make sense.
Yep.
And my regulars are pretty consistent with that. I just feel like it's a growth uh it's a learning process. You're not gonna get it on the first day, and it's okay. You were mentioning before that people get frustrated with the first show. It's bound to happen. It's okay. I personally feel like you gotta give it a second try, a third try. And if share shows are not your thing, there's a bunch of hosts out there that are only sharing theirs. Props to them. That's amazing. Time is money, and you run your show as you want to. Just find what makes you enjoy the app, Because it doesn't make sense for you to come and host this show when people are gonna notice that you're dreading this, like you're doing it just because you're gonna share my item, and that people feed off the energy that they get from you. So,
Right.
you know, however you see that the show is gonna be best for you, for your own sanity and the energy that you're gonna share with others, then that's how you should go. If it is a share show, amazing. Test it out, see what works for you. But going back to your question, it's a learning process. I don't have anything going 100% great. It's just a growing process. I'm doing good today. I'm gonna try my best to be better tomorrow and then better the next day.
Every single time I turn on the camera, I never know. You never know what's happening that day. I never know how it's going to go. And I go into it with
Yeah.
no expectations. And I think that helps a lot. If I go, where's my 100 people?
Yeah.
What the heck? Then I'm mad. Then I'm in a bad mood. Whereas if I start out sometimes with 20 or 22 or something low, it grows. If I stay calm and I keep just doing what I'm doing, and people come to it and they see a happy, joyful seller, it grows. And then
Yes.
suddenly I've got 60, 70, 80 people. But when I do recall days where it had been 150 people, and the next day I'm sitting looking at 25 for some reason, and it was probably because I was just doing plus sizes or just doing, whatever it was. That I don't do that anymore. I don't do a very narrow topic show.
Yeah.
But at the time I was like, and you could see it on
I
my face. I
know.
was like,
The
where is
frustration.
everybody?
And people
You
feed
know?
off that energy. You know, I've been in
Uh,
both extremes. I have been in a show where I got 290 something people, and then I've been in another one where I only got 10. And you know what? When I compare the two, I'm not focusing on quantity anymore. I'm focusing on quality. I've been on shows where I only have 40 people, and those shows, when it comes to like my money and my sales, have been a lot better than the ones that are where I have like 160 people. And that's what I mean by making Poshmark make sense. If you're gonna take 4 hours of your day away from your family, your responsibilities, you need to make it make sense, you know? You're gonna have people that are there interested, like truly interested in your items. And those are the people that you should try to keep in your show, because at the end of the day, you got to look after yourself. And you're gonna get the people that are there just to run their items. That's okay too, but you got to respect my time. I'm gonna share my items now. And you never know, you might find a deal or two and get a sale going, you know? So
all right. What is your hat? What's your hat about? What's it say?
it says, if you know, you know. Because I started saying
Love
this
it.
during my shows, you know, if I'm showing this story back, I'm like, if you know, you know, this is for people that know. And people started like repeating that phrase.
Uh,
I'm known by the host that comes up with like this catchy phrases, and this is the one that have stuck, I think.
I
And then
like
I
it.
have my handle and my
Oh, you
Instagram.
know, baby. That's right.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Wendisha. That's for
You know,
sure. I if you pop into a show, they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's you." That's so exciting.
that
Uh,
is so flattering. That is
it,
so flattering.
well,
Yeah.
it's true. You are what I have deemed, for what it's worth, which is not that much, but you're Posh Famous. So I needed to pick your brain because we are trying to help people that are struggling, or people that are just coming into the shows, and you're an invaluable voice in that moment because you made it work, for whatever you did. And you're right, a lot of it is energy and being yourself, but they can be that too,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I mean, look at your background, look at your lighting, look at, your energy level whenever your show is going is all on point, on point. And it's not an accident that you have 290 people in your show. It's not an accident, right? So,
Yeah.
that is, people want to know what you're doing versus what they're doing when they've got 4 people in it. That's just your audience is there. So let's talk about consistency. So your shows, you're telling them what's coming up next at the end of your shows, correct? So they know
I
when
try
to
my
come back.
best. Yeah. If there's a collab that's coming up, you mean like towards the end of the show? What's gonna, okay. So if there's any pending bundles, like if you bought, I try to help my buyers out as much as possible. So if they bought something in the morning from me from another show and then they bought something in my show, I try to create that bundle so they save on shipping. That's something that I'm gonna say. If there's anything, you know, a bundle, yeah, I'm gonna try to help you out. Just be in the lookout for that notification. I have a next show coming up. I have a Posh and Coffee. If you want to go live, I can help you get access quicker. I try to talk about the things that are happening in the future for sure. And you know, talking about the energy, going back to that, we all have days where our energy is not 100%.
Right.
I've been there. Like last night was one of those days where I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired, but it is making sense. Let me keep pushing. Just learn to know and like to recognize those cues, because even when you're trying, if you feel like you don't want to be live, it's okay to miss one show. In my opinion, it's okay. Better have you at your 100% than to have you exactly.
Yeah.
So don't now, especially with so many people getting live access, we do get the pressure of like, oh my God, but if I don't go live, people are gonna forget about me. No, like that's not the case. I mean, I'm not saying go hide in a corner for a month, you know, try to find a reason to bring you back to the app. But if you're constantly pushing yourself to do it even when you don't want to, there's gonna come a time where you're not gonna find the joy that brought you to Poshmark in the first place. So we gotta save that energy. We gotta take care of our health and all that great stuff. And I feel like I moved from this question to a whole different topic, but I feel
I love where you took it because I think that if everyone could just take that one word, joy, and hold that. And I
yeah,
know a lot of people come to Posh because they're desperate for money, or they go, I lost my job and this is an opportunity. How do I learn this? But in order to maintain that audience and bring that audience and keep it, there
mhm,
has to be a sense of joy, fun. When Tim and I joke all the time and laugh, and
I love that.
there's a consistent joy in what we're doing. And I really love it. I stand here and I dance like a lunatic, but
Love it.
I love it. I love interacting with people. I love getting them deals. I am about sustainability and the environment. I repair these purses. I save them from the literal dump. You know, the bins is the last bastion. I go there. I completely remodel and restructure some of these purses. So I'm putting a
I know this
that
because
I
I bought from you. So kudos to you.
yeah, thank you. I love restructuring and saving and rehabbing these purses, and it makes a difference. I feel like people have really unique things that when they leave my show, and I just love it. And I think that you know, revamping and making sure that you're taking care of yourself and not just everyone that's coming to your show to share is so
Exactly.
important, because that joy, the joy
Yeah.
uh shows through when you're
Yeah.
at your best. It shows through, and people are intrigued and want to stay and you know, yell out the if you know you know, and
Yeah.
listen Linda, and all the fun things. Your show is fun. So I mean, I think that's the biggest takeaway. Just try to have fun.
Try to have
Fun,
fun.
organization, continue to get better, learn from your mistakes. All of
Yeah.
that is so important, you know.
And another very important tip I feel like would be try to join other people's shows, especially if you're
Yes.
about to get live access, because I've seen people, and I feel like I was one of those people that even before I had live access, I would join other people's shows and I would try to interact in the chat. And by the time I went live, people knew about me already because I was there. I was showing up. And
Fair. Yeah.
even now that I'm a live show host, I go into people's shows. I try to interact with the crowd. You
Say
don't know
hi.
who
Yeah.
might be helping. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a way of networking. Networking is not just in real life, it is virtually, and it is very important on Poshmark as well. for
Because
sure.
yeah, you give back. You say, I'm here for you too. Yeah. I
Exactly.
try to do that too. If I see someone's
Yeah.
name that is always buying from me and they're new, I try to jump in and say hi and good luck
Yeah.
and all of that fun stuff. I know my VM Plus. I'll do a shout out at my VM Plus as her very first show today.
That's
And I will jump
amazing.
into that show because I want to make sure she sees my support because I do care about her. She has
Yeah.
been there for me. So those kinds of things are super important, you know? So call out your shows this week.
So I am going live tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have a regular schedule every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And
Okay.
then every Sunday, my Cozy Sunday shows, which are at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I might do an occasional pop-up or like a collab, but
Yeah.
that is my consistent schedule.
Let's do a collab. I want to collab
Let's do
with
it.
you.
Oh
Let's
my
do
God,
it.
that would be amazing.
Would that be
Yes.
fun? We could have the
Yeah.
Zoom. I was thinking of doing a Zoom where people could see I would share screen so they could learn and see what I'm seeing for their
Yeah.
show, but then
Yeah.
we could collab and have both of us and
That's actually something that I've done in the Passion Coffees, where I would start a show and then I'm having to tell my viewers, this is not a show, it's
yeah,
just a training type of
but
thing.
hang around
But
if
it
you want.
works.
That happened to me
Exactly.
when I started Annika. So I had a few people come in as part of the Posh Pro crew so they could learn.
Mm-hmm.
So I let them into my closet. So
Amazing.
Obi-Wan Kenobi did that. Teowea one did that. And so they were able to practice before they went live themselves. And so people were coming in and we're like, we're just practicing right now. We're just
Yeah.
practicing for her show tomorrow, which will be on my channel. And people just sat around and learned. And I said, that's fine. You can sit here and learn.
Wouldn't it be amazing that Poshmark allows to do like test shows? I think that would be so beneficial for the
Yeah,
people
why
that are
not?
going
I
live
mean, you
now.
can do them, but people will come in. There's
The
no way
test shows where you don't get no viewers, just you, and it would be amazing. But right
well,
now, let's do it.
Posh Fest is coming up in September. I got a list, baby.
Yay!
I keep checking things off as they fix them, but I'm gonna go because I talked to Manish last year. I walked straight up to him. I'm gonna be like, "Hello, Manish. I've got my list. I
That's
want to talk to
amazing.
you."
Thank you for
Yeah,
doing that. We are
yeah.
the ones that make Poshmark better, so we gotta continue doing that.
Well,
Amazing.
you make Poshmark better for me, my friend. I love you. I love your show, and we will be there. I'm gonna be there tomorrow.
Yay.
We're gonna see you on Sunday, as always. Wendisha, my favorite share show of all time. You
Thank
are definitely Posh Famous, and we appreciate you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for joining us
Thank you for the
today.
invite, for sure.
And this has
Collab
been Rags
coming
to
soon, y'all.
Resale.
Collab coming soon, okay? Collab
Collab,
coming
collab.
soon.
Point at me.
Yay!
I love you,
Thank you
girl.
so much. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Tips, live events, contests, celebrity appearances. Don't miss a moment. Follow Posh Pro Project on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube and check out our e-learning courses for resellers at poshproproject.com.